you have tremendous risk because if you lose your account, if something happens, you have one single source of traffic. And if
Yeah.
Amazon decides to do Amazon Basics for that or something like that, I mean, which I've watched happen, several
Yeah.
times, it's not the most risk-free of deals to be an Amazon seller with, even if you're at that level.
Yeah, I've got a great CFE hot lead from one of my Amazon agency clients right now.
Nice. Nice.
Actually working on four actively right now, but this one is the biggest one, so I wanted to talk to you about. So appreciate it. So they're doing 10 million revenue, 2.5 million in EBITDA, men's accessories brand. They're 95% of their sales are on Amazon. They're
Okay.
growing at about 5% per year, so they want to grow a lot faster. So I was wondering, they don't know what their business is worth. I was wondering, based on those rough numbers, like what do you think would be a fair valuation? Is that are they
I would say
are
in the market, you
they-
would be looking at about 12.5 as a value for that. It's typically 5x as to what it would be selling for if we were selling it to somebody. Obviously,
Okay.
you would prefer to come in closer to 2 or 3. If it's owner operated, then you can use our owner operated chart of values to kind of help you there.
Yeah.
That places most businesses between about a 2.2 and a 2.9. So that gives
Okay.
you some ballpark.
Okay. So even though they're at 2.5 million EBITDA, that they're only at a 5x multiple.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
For Amazon businesses, it's for
Yep.
Amazon businesses generally, it's tough to get much more than that.
Okay. Is there a threshold or a tier beyond the 2.5 million EBITDA where it's like that jumps up or professionally managed for them?
If they are exclusively on Amazon, it's yes. I mean, it's negotiable. You might be between 5 and 10, but most of the deals that I see being done are being done about 5 right now. If it's an exclusive Amazon business, because you have tremendous risk. Because if you lose your account, if something happens, you have one single source of traffic. And if
Yeah.
Amazon decides to do Amazon Basics for that or something like that, I mean, which I've watched happen, several
Yeah.
times, it's not the most risk-free of deals to be an Amazon seller with, even if you're at that level.
Okay. Yep. Totally agree. And then, so my question is as I'm trying to present the pricing, so a little background, they are currently not a full service client. We're just managing their Amazon PPC ads right now. So they pay us like 2,500 a month plus 5% of ad spend or something like that. So
Okay.
they're paying us about 5K a month currently for just PPC services.
Okay.
So I've had two deep discovery calls with them, for free, just, as a client. And so what I've gathered is they are open to expanding to Amazon full service management. So basically that would bring them up to around an extra 5K a month just for like our services if they just want that.
Mhm.
But the bigger opportunity I think is CFE because they don't know their value, they don't know about multiple arbitrage, they don't know all these things about all that stuff. So I think the potential is to help them to scale over the next couple of years and then sell. So my partner and I, we want to do a CFE deal. So we were thinking to try to sell basically 15K a month retainer or 20% of of profit growth above the baseline of where they're at because they're at a pretty good profit level right now,
Mhm.
and plus 20% of the exit value above the baseline of where they're at currently. So that was kind of what we were thinking to present. Does that feel pretty good?
I like it. Yeah. That would fit kind of into somewhere between the 10-10-10 and 20-20-20 we talk about. So that would be, I would typically do a deal like this for $20,000 a month or 20% of profits. And you can say above the baseline in that if you want. And then the greater of those two plus 20% at exit. I think it presents easier when you have kind of round numbers like that. So you could also say 15, 15, 15, but I'd probably start at 20, 20, 20 and just see what they say and then, go from there. If you're talking about 20% of the up and you're going to be, and they're, especially if they've plateaued at all, like if they've been doing 2.5 in profit for the last couple of years,
Yeah,
and
they
they're
have.
looking for additional growth channels, then it's an easier pitch. So that's got, I like it. I would pitch it under one of those 10, 10, 10, 20, 20, 20 type things. Or if, you can certainly change it. It could be, 15, 15, 15, but doesn't roll off the tongue as easily as 20, 20, 20.
Okay, sounds good. And then as far as like, because I'm trying to present both the, upgrading their Amazon services from a service perspective, as well as the CFE as a separate, they could do one or the other or both. So I was thinking to maybe give them like 10 or 15% off all the numbers if they do both together, or does that complicate it, or how would you
I
leverage
think
that?
you're better to roll it all into one. I think it's just cleaner.
Oh, okay.
So like if your additional 5K on top of the 25 in services you're doing right now would be 7,500, and then you've got another 2,500 that I think was coming as part of ad spend.
Yeah.
Maybe you just say, look, if we do this new stuff that we're going to do, you're going to be around 10 minimum anyway. But we would like to do a lot more. Here's kind of our rough outline of all the opportunities that we believe exist that we could take advantage of that we wouldn't be doing under that plan. So effectively under a 20-20-20, you really only have to invest 10 more on the front. We're putting our money where our mouth is, saying we're willing to just take our points on the up, and then we're going to be really, really motivated to make this happen.
Oh, I like that. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, because so just try to package it all together and don't even
It's
act
just
like you can
cleaner.
do a la carte. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I can, if they say no, or they're like, if they say no or negotiate, then I could then
Yeah,
piecemeal it if needed, right? But why
exactly.
not try to go for the whole thing?
Correct.